Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here with our Monday Night Raw review, Monday, June 25th, 2018. I'm taking it solo again tonight. Don't think Nick is going to be here with us, as he's still on vacation. But now I want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of tonight's Monday Night Raw? It was an interesting Raw. I found it a little better than most, but I do got some stuff to say about the start of this show. Like the start of the show was basically like, okay, so back in the day when they would mess up a segment when they were filming like a Raw or something, they would literally send the guys back out to do it again. And that's what the opening of this Raw felt like. Like they felt the spot last week with Roman and Lashley and Kurt and all them was messed up last week, so they said, let's redo. I'll get into it here in a second. Let's see who's with us here in the chat. We got TVP83, Deanna Argonon, WWE Champ, Jeff Guevara, Voltage Dylan, Joan Ash, El Shards, Raging Red, Beastie Boy. What is going on, everybody, on this Monday? I do have to say, before I get started, thank you. Thank you for helping us grow Pro Wrestling Unlimited here on YouTube to over 100,000 subscribers. As of right now, we're at 100,324 subscribers. Derek Boak says 100K. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's going to be a video coming out later tonight, basically almost right after we're done with the live stream here, of me and Nick just telling you guys, thank you and what it means to us to hit this milestone here on YouTube. So enough of that. Let's jump into Raw. So Monday Night Raw opens up with a graphic saying, in memory of a Vader, Leon White, 1955 to 2018, rest in peace. Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin come out, and JoJo announces Kurt Angle, general manager of Monday Night Raw. She then says, accompanying Kurt Angle to the ring, Baron Corbin, and he gets up on the apron and goes, no, that is not what you're going to call me. Do it again. And so she says, okay. Accompanying Kurt Angle, personally, or she says something along the lines of, Stephanie McMahon's personally appointed constable over Monday Night Raw, Baron Corbin, or something along those lines. I was like, what the heck? Anyways, so Kurt opens up the show, and he's like, he goes, Paul Heyman wrote a lengthy letter on Facebook this past weekend talking about the WWE, and unfortunately, we do have some bad news when it comes to Extreme Rules. And then Roman comes out, starts talking about how he should just be the champ, and they don't need to do this multi-man match. And then Lashley comes out. And Lashley's like, you know what? You don't need to be this number one contender or whatever, because you've already got enough opportunities. And then Kurt goes, well, the multi-man match is off. Brock Lesnar couldn't come to terms with the WWE, and he hasn't re-signed a new contract, so he has no dates. He's not going to be working anytime soon unless he can come up to an agreement. And so my first thought was, if Brock won't agree to wrestle, strip him of the title, or at least do a 2011 when CM Punk left with the belt and do an interim championship. Like, this is getting out of hand. I know some people were like, well, he hasn't defended the title in well over 30 days. Strip him. The story was that it was the general manager wasn't booking him. So if the general manager's not booking him, you can't strip him because it's not his fault. But now it's Brock not wanting to work. Now it's Brock going out there saying, oh, I'm not going to sign a new contract. Strip his ass. Or at least get an interim champion. Maybe turn the multi-man match into an interim Universal Championship match. And then at SummerSlam, you can get Brock's ass in there and unify the titles. That's what I think you should do. Screw this Brock won't agree to terms so the titles just held. No. Anyways, just like last week, as Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley start bickering back and forth, who is to come out? The Revival. Revival comes out, and they're like, we're the best tag team. You guys just want to argue and blah, blah, blah. Let's have a match right now. I thought I was watching a rerun. Literally. Felt like I was watching a rerun of Monday Night Raw, and they put the wrong episode up. I was like, what? Anyways, so they make the match, and we get Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns taking on the team of the Revival. It was an okay match. They plugged before the match, before they went to a commercial, they did plug that tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, Jeff Hardy will be defending the United States Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. So the Revival worked over Lashley for a bit until he made a hot tag to Roman Reigns. Scott Dawson got clothesline and then a big boot. Dash Wilder pulled Dawson out of the ring, so Reigns gave Wilder the drive-by. Dawson sold it like he was hit as well, but he really wasn't. Later on in the match, Dawson tried to attack, so Reigns sidestepped and launched him into Lashley, who fell off the apron. This is right after Roman tagged himself in. Reigns then gave Dawson a spear, but Wilder, who was the actual legal man, used a schoolboy, got the tights, and pinned Roman Reigns. Now, this all happened. It was kind of like last week's saw Roman was going to go for the spear. Lashley tagged himself in. Lashley went for the spear and won last week. So this week it was supposed to be, well, Roman can tag himself in and still win. But Roman messed up. He did hit Dash with the Superman punch, but he couldn't hit Dawson with the spear. He then got rolled up, and we know what happens from there. Roman got pinned by Dash Wilder. So Bobby gets in the ring, and he's just like, yeah, see, that's what's going on. You can't do it. You can't hold your own, blah, 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 blah. Next time this ain't going to happen, and this and that. And Roman just had this look on his face like, don't get in my face again. I'm going to mess you up, this and that. And Lashley just walked off and was like, screw this guy. He can't hang. Basically, how Bobby Lashley came off was just like, he can't hang. And it was funny, earlier when they were back and forth bickering before the match started, Roman, for some reason, keep calling him Bob. Bob. You know Bob. Bob. Who does he think he is? Rusev? Calling him Bob? So we then have Matt Hardy backstage, and he said the B-Team's performance last week of them was wonderful, and that the best he has seen since being at the Globe Theater with his friend Bill Shakespeare. He said that, what did he say? He said, impersonation is the best form of flattery or something, however that saying is. Bray Wyatt then warned them that they were entering the Lion's Den. After the break, the B-Team did another parody video making fun of Wyatt and Hardy. They did announce that this tag team title match will be taking place at Extreme Rules. Go to commercial, and they aired a video. They aired a video that announced that Rey Mysterio will be the pre-order bonus for WWE 2K19, but he's not the only one. They didn't say it here in this video, but they did say it on Twitter. 2K Games and WWE Games did announce that, yes, Rey Mysterio will be the pre-order bonus for WWE 2K19, but you're going to get another superstar as well. So we then go on to have the B-Team taking on, well, it wasn't the B-Team, it was Curtis Axel taking on Matt Hardy. Hardy set up for a superplex, but Axel turned it into a crossbody for the surprising quick pinfall victory. Match only went about 54 seconds. Afterwards, Hardy said Axel's methods were wonderful and led the crowd in a big ovation for the B-Team. They recapped what happened last week between Sasha Banks and Bayley. Then Banks was shown speaking with Kurt Angle backstage. Banks wasn't happy with whatever was going on. They recapped what happened last week. I already said that. Authors of Pain were then shown backstage, kind of pulling a riot squad, wrecking havoc, I guess you can say. They, I guess, messed with the stagehand, and then they were stopped by Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews was like, hey, these people work hard backstage. You need to show them respect. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't put these shows on. And ALP said, thanks, but no thanks for the advice. We then see Bayley backstage, and then Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox is back. Kurt Angle welcomed her back. Bayley gave her a big hug. Alicia's got a new haircut, and then Angle told Bayley, I need to talk to you. No, you're not going to like this, but you got to team with Sasha tonight. You guys are going to team up with Ember, and I need you to take on the Riot Squad. He's like, you need to get along. This is your last chance. And it's like, Last chance for what? You going to fire her? Which comes in later. So we get the Authors of Pain versus two jobbers, Rich and Rex Gibson. Match goes about a minute long. AOP killed the jobbers and won with the last chapter. AOP attacked them after the match, but Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil did make the save. Finn Balor then approached Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin backstage and got a pretty big pop. Balor wanted to know why Lesnar canceled the match. He said he wanted in that multi-man match, which is, here's the weird thing. They're calling it the multi-man match. They're not calling it six-pack challenge anymore. It's just the multi-man match. So maybe, even though on WWE.com they're advertising 6 men will be in the match, maybe they don't really know how many men will be in. That's what I'm thinking with them not calling it a six-pack challenge. Anyways, Corbin said, you thought you were going to get in this match? You're just a little short guy that can't get anything done. Balor was like, I want my Universal Championship back. He said, just like last week, and Corbin said, just like last week, I'm going to pin you. I could pin you again. Balor then asked Corbin if the manager at TGI Fridays knew that he stole their vest, and the crowd laughed. Braun Strowman then all of a sudden walks in, and he goes, hey, I feel bad for Kevin Owens. I want to tag team with him tonight. I want to be his partner. And Kurt was kind of like, what? Like, he didn't get it. And so Strowman was like, I want to make amends with Kevin Owens. So he was like, all right, we're going to have a tag team match then. It's going to be Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman taking on the team of Finn Balor and Constable Baron Corbin. So then we get Alexa Bliss and Mickie James in the ring. They recapped everything that went down with Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey last week. Mickie James introduced Bliss as the 3-time Raw Women's Champion, and the crowd booed peripherally. No, that's not the right word. The crowd booed immensely. I'm going to use that word because I'm Porky Pig and it can't get the right word out. They booed immensely. They did not want to see Alexa out here. They talked about Ronda Rousey and said that she deserved to be suspended. The crowd chanted, we want Rousey. Bliss thought that she deserved a better reward than having to defend her title against Nia Jax, who's probably still in rehab for her messed up shoulder and arm. She claimed that Jax couldn't defeat her. She said Jax thought her feel-good story came to an end at WrestleMania, but really, Bliss was the hero of the story in the end. The crowd started booing even more. She was getting like Vicky Guerrero heat and then the crowd started chanting, you suck. Natty then comes out and interrupts. And she was like, oh, Alexa, you've only got 23 days till my friend and training partner, Ronda Rousey, can return to Monday Night Raw and do what she needs to do to you and deal with you. And Alexa goes, wow, you and Ronda can count backwards from 30? I'm impressed. And so she was just like, I'm also impressed that you left your 5-star Total Divas Lake Tahoe vacation to come out here on Raw. And Natty was just kind of looking mad. And she goes, yeah, we all know what you guys did over the weekend, having fun on social media. And apparently, some of them got in trouble because they weren't supposed to have their phones filming everything. They got scolded, apparently. Apparently, according to Nikki Bella, they had to take the phones and lock them away, and Paige still went and stole her phone out of the lockbox. So Natty said, oh, well, 23 days until Ronda comes back, but I talked to Kurt Angle. Tonight, we're going to have a match, you and me, right here, right now. But I didn't come alone from Tahoe. And out comes Nia Jax. So I sent out a tweet about this. I'm confused. You go into 2018, Nia's friends with Alexa, they're heels. You're going in to WrestleMania, they're no longer friends. Nia's now the babyface. As we entered Money in the Bank, Nia the champion up against Ronda Rousey, she's a heel. Now, coming out of Money in the Bank, she lost the championship, she's now a babyface. Nia Jax has turned babyface heel more times in 6 months than the Big Show does in a year. Like, make up your mind. So we had Natalya with Nia Jax taking on Women's Champion Alexa Bliss with Mickie James in a non-title match. Bliss gained control of the match after kicking Natalya's leg out from under her, but Natty responded with a Michinoku driver. Bliss did her insult to injury spot, but basically whiffed it. Natalya made a comeback, but was distracted by Mickie James, allowing Bliss to hit a nice forearm. As the referee was yelling at Mickie James and being distracted, Alexa bounced off the ropes, but she was grabbed. Her leg was grabbed by Nia Jax. This then allowed Natty to hit a double leg takedown and the sharpshooter, where Bliss did tap out. As Natalya and Jax celebrated, James was holding, like literally, Mickie James pulled Alexa out of the ring, was holding her like a baby, swaddling her, swaying her back and forth, telling her everything's going to be okay. It was pretty funny. So then Charlie Caruso interviews Seth Rollins backstage. And he said that Drew McIntyre would have the best seat in the house to watch him beat Dolph Ziggler and take back the Intercontinental Championship tonight. And then a weird segment. You see Jinder, and they're doing like a photo shoot with Jinder. All cool, whatever. Sunil Singh's there with him. Then the Riot Squad comes up, and Ruby grabs the camera from the cameraman. And she's like, there you go, Jinder. There you go. Work it. Work it. And she starts taking pictures. And then she grabs the camera. She takes the camera and just slams it down. And I'm like, you just literally just broke at least $300 camera. Like, what? What? Just, I don't know. So this led to basically nothing. Jinder tried to preach to her, saying, hey, you need to calm down. You need to have some tranquility. You need to have peace in your life. And it's just like, so now Jinder's a motivational speaker? What? Anyways, this led to the Riot Squad taking on Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon in a 7-minute match. Michael Cole stressed multiple times that this was the final opportunity for Banks and Bayley to quote-unquote get along. Fightful in the house saying happy 100K. Thank you. I see Nick's finally in the chat. Nick says, can I be your co-host? Hey, I asked you earlier if you were coming on. Anyways, so, you know, like I said, Michael Cole kept stressing this was the last time they're going to be able to get along. If they don't get along tonight, I don't know. It was like, really? So it was an okay match. Immediately, let's see, it was an okay match. Went to commercial pretty quickly. Immediately afterwards, Bayley. So it all broke down at the end. All the women were fighting, and Sasha gets rolled up. Sasha gets pinned, cradled. And instantly, Bayley runs in and just starts beating the crap out of Sasha. She's just destroying her in the ring, throws her out of the ring, destroying her at ringside, throws her twice into the ring steps before seating herself on top of her. And she was like, you always thought you were better. You thought you were the better one. You ain't shit. And I'm like, whoa, Bayley. And the crowd's going nuts this whole time as Bayley's smack talking and beating the crap out of Sasha. And Sasha's like prone dead on the floor. Like, she's yelling at Sasha. They're bleeping it out. And I'm like, okay, I like this. This might not be as bad as we think. And so after the commercial, they show the announcers, and Coach was like, you know, maybe this new attitude is what Bayley needed all along. And Corey Graves goes, Coach, that's what I've been saying for a while now. Shut up. It's like, wow. So we see Kurt Angle, and he tells the referee, I need to speak with Bayley now. Kevin Owens then comes in and goes, what are you doing? Throwing me in there with Braun Strowman? I know his intentions. He threw me off a 20, no, 30, no, 40-foot ladder. And Kurt's just like, he wants to be your friend. You're going to have to team with him tonight. And he's like, oh, crap. So, No Way Jose comes down, got his conga line. One of his members in the conga line is actually a local wrestler here in Central and Northern California. It's Sledge. He wrestles for Best in the West, wrestles for APW, wrestles for Big Time Wrestling. He was like the third guy in line behind Jose. That was a little cool thing. Local guy getting some extra work on Monday Night Raw. So No Way Jose comes down with his conga line, and then Mojo Rawley comes out, and he's like, what are you doing here? You have to earn to walk down a WWE ramp. You have to earn to enter a WWE ring, and these guys don't deserve it. They do not deserve to even walk down this ramp. He's like, and Jose, you don't either. He then said, I don't think we're going to do this match tonight. A rematch? No. And he got in one of the guys' faces, and he said, what's your name? And the crowd starts chanting, Todd, 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 Todd. And I was like, okay, maybe the guy's name really is Todd. Guy was dressed as a cheeseburger. Anyways, crowd started chanting, we want Todd. And Mojo was just like, we're not doing this match. And he left. And I was like, really? So he punched Todd. I was like, what? This was weird. And it's like, really? They're building up a feud between No Way Jose and Mojo Rawley. I guess maybe it can be like what's it called? Kickoff match for Extreme Rules? Maybe? I don't know. So Bayley's like, Kurt, you wanted to see me? And he's like, what was that? I needed you to be a role model. I needed you to go out there and help carry Raw and help carry the women's evolution. But honestly, there's something wrong with you. And you, next week, are going to need to go get some counseling. You need help. She's like, what do you mean, Kurt? No, that's absurd. And he goes, you either do it or you're fired. And I'm like, oh, we're getting Dr. Shelby coming back. And Bayley was like, she was just like, I don't want to do it. He's like, if you don't, you will be fired. And the crowd booed. I don't know if it was this crowd in San Diego or if it's going to be all crowds, but this crowd in San Diego liked the heelish Bayley. I don't know if it's a complete heel turn. The crowd liked Bayley for the first time in a long time. So then we get Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens taking on Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. I liked the match. It was weird because throughout the whole match, there was dissension between Finn and Corbin. But Strowman was acting nice with Owens, and Owens was a little reluctant throughout the match. So in the end, this was kind of weird. So I think it was Finn and Owens were in the ring. Corbin tags himself in, and so before he can get into the ring, Finn kicks him in the face. And then Michael Cole goes, Finn's the legal man again. Like, kicking your partner in the face is making you the legal man? No. Freaking Corbin was the legal man. Because Finn goes and tries to fight with Owens, and they're like, oh, Corbin, or they're like, oh, Finn the legal man. No, he's not. You can't be the legal. Okay, blind tag by Corbin. Tags himself in. Still in the ring. Kicks his partner who's on the apron. The partner on the apron is the legal guy, not the guy in the ring. Kicking your partner in the face before he even gets back in the ring doesn't make you the legal man. Michael freaking Cole, shut the hell up anyways. Finn bounces off the ropes. Corbin pulls him out of the ring. They fight up the ramp. Referee counts him out. Boom. Count out. Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens win. So Owens is in the ring with Strowman, and he's kind of reluctant. And he's like, do I extend my hand for a handshake? What do I do? And eventually he just gets out of there and runs. And Braun grabs his briefcase and follows suit. So Kevin finds a little locker room, and he hides in there. And Strowman's like, Kevin, where'd you go? Kevin. He stops some guy and he goes, you see Kevin Owens? He goes, I just work concessions here. I don't know who anybody is. He's like, I can't help you. He's like, oh. And so he walks off and he passes the locker room area, or the little room where Kevin Owens walked into. So then after the commercial, we see Kevin Owens. He comes out of this room and he walks up to a valet. This is the weirdest valet setup I've ever seen. Like they're coming out of the backstage area where it's like if you had I guess you could say an 18-wheeler, you would pull the 18-wheeler in right here. Or if you're going to drive into the back. Anyways, but the valet, the way the valet is set up, the valet is just blocking everything. Now, remember back to the guy that was like, I just work concessions here. I don't know who anybody is. This valet must know who every wrestler is. Because Owens walks up and goes, where are my keys? And the guy's just like, I don't got your keys. But he's got a whole board of keys. Didn't ask Kevin Owens for his number. Because, when you go to a valet, they give you your number or a ticket. Didn't ask Kevin for his ticket. Didn't ask Kevin for his number. So how do you know what keys are actually Kevin Owens? He goes, you don't have my keys. Where are my keys? And the valet goes, he's got your keys. And the camera pans over, and it's got Braun Strowman holding his briefcase. He goes, Kevin, here are your keys. And he throws them at Owens. He goes, but I don't know if they're going to be much help with the car over there. The camera pans to the other side, and the car's flipped upside down smoking. And I'm like, first off, fire that valet, because he just gave away somebody's keys when the valet is technically supposed to be like security for your car, so that way no one steals it. Anyways, so Strowman flipped the car. Kevin Owens freaks out, and Strowman chuckles as he walks away. And then a bunch of referees come up with fire extinguishers to put out the quote-unquote smolder. So we get a main event. Almost 30-minute match that I loved. This match was great. About 14 minutes into the match, Rollins was about to do a suicide dive, but McIntyre clubbered him from behind. Referee did not see it. The referee then figured out what happened after, I guess Rollins maybe said something. I don't know exactly what happened here, but the referee was eventually just like, McIntyre, I'm throwing you out. And Rollins tried to go for a roll-up on Ziggler, but the referee was distracted with McIntyre trying to get in the ring at this time. Would have got 3 count, but didn't happen. Rollins then gave Ziggler an enziguri, then took both guys, and he got Ziggler out of the ring. Then he did a suicide dive on both McIntyre and Ziggler. Ziggler then tripped Rollins off the top rope and tried to go for a 2 count. After commercial break, Rollins slipped out of a sleeper hold and hit a ripcord knee for a near fall. The crowd started chanting for Rollins. McIntyre was gone. Referee had kicked him out for the commercial. Ziggler then gave Rollins a jumping DDT on the apron, which was crazy. Rollins just barely made it back into the ring before the 10 count, and a "This is awesome" chant ensued. Ziggler went for a super kick, but Rollins grabbed him and got him buckle bomb. Tried to go for a buckle bomb, and I guess Ziggler just bounced right out of the corner, super kick, near fall. Rollins then followed up with frog splash for another near fall. Ziggler avoided the stomp, and then Rollins slipped out of the zigzag. Traded roll-ups for a minute before Ziggler hit a zigzag for a near fall. Then the two started fighting up top for a superplex spot. Both Rollins and Ziggler teased doing the superplex to the outside, which is just a nuts spot in everything. And so eventually Rollins does hit the superplex, the Falcon Arrow, and the referee's yanked. I think it was John Cone. Yanked out of the ring, splats on the outside, and it's McIntyre. So McIntyre runs in and just beats the crap out of Rollins before the referee calls for the bell. They're beating on Rollins before Roman comes out to make the save. Now, if you didn't see, over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Raw did their house shows. Every night, the main event was Ziggler and McIntyre taking on Rollins and Reigns. Now, if you didn't see what happened last night at the house show in Anaheim, Roman went to, I guess you could say, give Drew this powerful Irish whip where Drew McIntyre bounced off the ropes and the top rope snapped and McIntyre fell out of the ring. If you want to see what Seth did with the rope after the ring, it was pretty funny. We do have a video up on our channel of Seth just playing with the broken rope. Anyways, Roman comes down, and they say, JoJo announces, the winner of this match, Seth Rollins. And so they do like a recap of what happened at the end of the match, and then JoJo goes, but still Intercontinental Champion, Dolph Ziggler. So I assume this is going to set up next week, possibly a tag team match where we will see Seth and Roman teaming up to take on Ziggler and McIntyre, which I wouldn't be opposed. I heard it was good for what it was, at least the first 2 nights of this past weekend's live events. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that match next week. But that was Monday Night Raw. Better show than last week, I do think. I was a little perturbed by the way the beginning started because it was literally the exact same segment we got last week. But hey, it happened. The show got better from there, and I'm not really complaining much about this week's Monday Night Raw. So, tomorrow night we will be live again for SmackDown Live. I have been Tim. You can follow me on social media, on Twitch and Twitter, at TimmyBuddy. You can follow us at PWUnlimited, and go follow our good friends over there at Fightful.com, Fightful Online on Twitter, Fightful Wrestling, Fightful MMA, Fightful Boxing, Sean Ross Sapp. Follow them, and we will see you tomorrow after SmackDown. Have a good night, guys.